So when we talk about really kind of creating a brand aligned learning experience, it's really important that we consider the range of moments of learning need that we're going to have to meet with that ecosystem of assets and journeys and experiences that wrap around them. So when we talk about the moments of learning, this is a great concept that was brought together by Conrad Govertson and Bob Mosher. And what I like about it is really learning centric. It focuses on when and under what conditions a performer will need to learn something to drive a task or an outcome. So when they're learning something for the first time, they're building a new concept or a scaffold for future learnings to build upon. They're actually laying that foundation to when the first time they're trying to apply it or get better at something, when they're adjusting to a change in the environment or when something goes wrong. Now, each of these moments actually has a different requirement. So, for example, when I'm learning something for the first time, I need a little more context, I need a little more structure. But when I'm adjusting to change or reacting to failure, this is much more of like performance support, just in time, just what I need. If I'm trying to fix something or address something that I'm seeing that's going wrong, I don't need all the history and all the context. I just need to get an insight on how do I fix or change my performance to get the outcome I need to. So when you think about how you structure, how you make these available, it makes a big difference as to what moment of need you're looking at. Now, two more emerging moments of need that I brought to the table. The first five are, I get said from Conrad and Bob around the five moments of need. These two additional ones are really what I call divergent, and then they are about being able to innovate or grow for the next role. So these are driving towards something that I need is different than what I currently have. So in an innovation, I'm trying to do something different, to innovate, to change, to create something new. I need to find something that's going to help me draw new insights in the space. And then the same thing for growing for the next role. That's really an intrinsic or an internal driver of saying, I want to grow to be something else. So how do I actually get from my system to help me achieve that internal goal around that? So what we need to think about is how we set the systems up to make the different types of learning available to them to drive the outcomes that they're really looking for. So I think one of the key ways that we think about how we actually start to meet moments three, four, and five, and when an individual needs to innovate or grow for the next role, it plays a really critical component is think of the expanded learner role. So we're not just in the traditional mindset of the organization provides content and the learner simply consumes it. It's about pulling them into as an active participant in the overall experience. So it's about expanding beyond the consumer and bringing them in to be moderators, curators, contributors, creators, collaborators, all ways in which they can actively help each other apply or refine, or as they start to see mechanisms to actually respond to a change or something that they found to address a problem, they're starting to be part of that overarching group that can help contribute and provide information rather than waiting for the organization to figure it out and roll it completely out. We're now actually pulling in the full value of the entire ecosystem to be able to do that. Now, the third component is really thinking about what does the organization itself do? How do we kind of think about it from the human connection side? And I think that this is one of the most important areas that we often overlook. Now, this really comes from inspiration from Rob Cross's work in organizational network analysis, which is the study of how organizations get work done across the actual work, sort of the performers. So how do they remain and become productive? And so when we think about how does an organization learn or transform itself from a workforce standpoint, these folks really become a critical component of it. So the first one we talk about is the learning connectors. These are the people inside a business organization or a unit that actually have access to the resources and such. This is the person that we call when it's like, I don't know how to learn something, like I'm trying to figure out how to do an expense report. Who do I call to get some help on how do I do that? Learning bridgers are the people that make the connections across the organization to bring insights or different perspectives or different lenses or resources to bear across the organization. So these folks know where key resources are across the organization or even outside the organization in industries. The third category are really this range of coaches and mentors that we have out there, but these are folks that you would think we start to wrap like a full set of specialists. So it's not just one size coach or one size mentor for everything that you have. think of this as your specialist, just like you may have an ear, nose, and throat specialist, or a nerve specialist. You will have areas where folks can actually have an area of expertise that can help you get up to speed quickly and then move on to your next task, activity, or learning challenge. And then the last one are the information brokers, who have access to the information in the very fluid state or nature that actually inform and enable us to actually not only learn but ultimately perform. So all of these roles are absolutely critical inside the organization. You'll see that I don't have instructional designer here. It's not that we don't need designers or instructional designers, it's that these often don't show on the actual org chart. And it's important that we need to uncover who is doing this well in the organization, identify how to actually nurture them, and make sure that we retain them, especially when you want to grow the workforce.